This is something for the milling machine. And I'm taking a milling class at the college, local community college this semester, and I'm learning new things about milling that will hopefully help me. So helpfully, I think I just did a George Bushism, helpfully, that will helpfully increase my knowledge on metalwork with milling. But what I noticed on this particular package is I've never seen tape before and I covered up my delivery information. So first of all, the delivery information isn't even visible, which tells me that this has been opened and retaped. And it was late. It was supposed to be here 4 days ago. So something happened with our friends at the rainforest. So I taped up. Normally I'll de-identify by peeling a label off, and there was a shipping label here. Actually, it was right there that I peeled off. But that was the only way to see my name and address, not the main shipping envelope or a main shipping label. So this has clearly been taped up because, again, there's tape over the shipping label. That never happens with an Amazon package. And this is supposed to be precision equipment. I don't know if you can hear that jumbling around in there. So I thought I was not going to, when this arrived, or at least prior to its arrival, I was like, oh, there's no reason to do a video on this stuff. But anytime something arrives that I've ordered that is questionable in terms of its packing or whatever, I will do an on-video unboxing. And let me open this up. I'm sure addressing information will become available there. Somebody will complain about how I'm opening this. Somebody always does. All right, so now I can open it so it's clearly not sealed. And there's the rest of my label shipping information that is hidden by this being taped over. So this, not a good sign. This was opened up. So nothing in here. All right, so this being taped up is a good sign. Hearing things bounce around is a less good sign. But once you see this, so we were working on tramming a $20,000 Bridgeport copy mill. So, you know, a 7.5-foot mill. And it was very interesting to learn how to tram a mill that size. And you've seen my mini mill, which is, you know, 1/10 the size of that particular mill. And in order to tram my mill, I don't have the same level of adjustments that a Bridgeport copy does. So let's see, how do you think this? I'm not sure which is top and which is bottom. Okay, so that doesn't matter. All right, so this looks in person better than it did in the picture. It's also feels pretty good. Feel pretty good in the sense that, again, texture. And, you know, when I looked at the actual, and I believe this probably goes there. This, well, that's a TAW, tiny ass wrench. This one probably goes there, and I don't know what goes in that spot. Maybe nothing. I don't know. I have to look at the boy, that's Murphy's Law. Fat fingers and a tiny little piece of plastic. All right, so this goes okay. It looks like did it break? No, it didn't break. Okay, now we've got it. All right, now it's in there securely. This goes around the collar of the mill, and this set of contraptions it's interesting that it doesn't want to fit. I'll see about forcing that later. This then is my precision indicator. I'll call it, Chinesium. I don't know how this mounts yet, and I'm not seeing any instructions. So I think this was how it was packaged. Something like this. So the idea behind this is to attach, well, that's very sensitive, is to attach this dial indicator. Actually, I think we'll get rid of this. Don't need that. Attach this dial indicator to a combination of these arms. So once this is, fully extended or whatever, the dial indicator with, I'm guessing, some of these attachments, I'll have to look to see how it attaches. Maybe that'll be the second part of this video, because somebody will say something like, dude, you didn't even show how it was attached. So I will show how it attaches somehow in here. There we go. So something goes in there like that. How this mounts to this right at this moment, I do not know, but that's what I will look up and try to figure out, so that when I come back, I don't sound like a complete idiot, and I can figure out, wow, that is just not going to fit in there. Maybe that is why it was all bumbling around. But the whole idea behind this is to mount around the collar of the quill on the mill quill, and go from left to right and front to back. I think left to right is the one you're supposed to, and that's the x-axis. I believe the x-axis, left to right to 0 to tram it, and then the y-axis, front to back, to tram it, to get it to 0. And the challenge I'm going to have with this process, I don't even know what this is for. No clue. That's the tiniest freaking wrench in the world. The challenge I'm going to have is my mill does not have any type of XY axis adjustment bolts that, say, a Bridgeport or Bridgeport clone does. I will have to buy some plastic shims. I'll probably pick them up. Amazon has them, but they're essentially resell from Little Machine Shop. So I will pick up the Little Machine Shop mini mill plastic shims, and that's how I will tram my mill at some point, which I've delayed in doing because I knew this was going to be a bigger deal. But the reason I picked this setup was, well, for two reasons. One, I needed it, and two, I picked this specific version up, which includes the indicator holder as well as the indicator. And these are cheapy, no name, it says it's, 10, 105, well, I love how that does that. A reasonable indicator. How accurate it is, I don't know. I honestly don't know. But it's better than anything I could do myself by, a level or something that doesn't have this level of precision. So this level of precision is what I would call a trade-off. You know, when I look at my mini mill, I don't have a $20,000 mill. I have a, fraction of that, 90% less mini mill. So there's no reason for me to pay for premier tool sets to learn and hack on what I'm doing. Again, that's my approach, the Harbor Freight approach. And this particular tool, which is made by this design by another tool company called Indical, like an indicator caliber, Indical, or Indical, I can't remember what it was called, Indical. That's $100, just for this. It is expensive, and I don't need $100 collar indicator holder. I need a $30 set. I think this was $39, and that's, again, spending $100 on this and another $100 on this. I don't need $200 in my opinion, and my skills don't mandate that or don't require that. I don't need $200 worth of collet slash tool set indicators. And this is just not going to fit. Maybe it does, and I'm just not used to using it. So I will look to see how this attaches, and then I'll show it to you when it's attached later. And we are back, and we are configured. Not optimally, because I would do this optimally on the quill of the mill. So assuming that that is the quill of the mill, something round, this would lock on. And the quill would be able to rotate. So you would use this to rotate. And with this indicator, probably I would have the indicator as flat as possible. So again, depending on how much, where this needed to go, let's assume that this was locked into the quill and this was about to touch the table. So I would set it to 0. Whoops. Since I can't hold this and move this without, I would set this to 0, or remember where it was. And then I would use this to turn it to the back and to see how much variation between the y-axis there was if I was doing the y-axis, or I would do it left to right for the x-axis. And I use the smaller of the two, I'm going to call it barrel connectors for this particular instance. And just to show you, so I don't know why they include this wrench, because they need to include a really tiny screwdriver. This wrench was essentially useless. I don't know the quality of this particular precision dial indicator, but I'll say that it's good enough for my needs. And just to prove that I did get this working, I will put this in a configuration Okay, so let me tighten that up. Just to prove how they should have shipped this. So it came, let's just say it came a little loose from the factory. Loose in the sense that when it's configured properly, it all fits. And that's how it should have come, but I'm going to guess they were in a rush to to put it together and ship it out. That's why I have, you know, stuff like this. This was in the wrong place, so maybe that'll air out over time. Not that it's not that it matters. And there's nothing that goes here that I'm aware of. It only shows 3 devices: the wrench and the 2 barrels. And this one doesn't even fit any of this stuff. So I don't know what this one was for, unless this is to use a different indicator like I have for my, or a different base slash holder that I have for other tools like on my lathe. So definitely a keeper. Was it worth the money? Absolutely. Maybe I should get a little tiny screwdriver, because that's apparently what I need for here, because that, yeah, that doesn't work. You know, that doesn't fit. So I'm a little miffed on what the, if anybody knows what the mini wrench is for, please fill me in, because I doesn't know. I do not know, and I don't know if there's a coating on this. Let me take off my glasses. There looks like a sheen on here, so I can't tell if that's, oh yeah, it looks like a plastic coating. And I have a tendency to leave coatings on things because stuff gets dirty and yucky. So I'll leave that coating on there. Was it worth $39? In my opinion, yes. This looks as good, if not better, than, you know, it's unlabeled, but it's a clone of the Indical, whatever the name is, for this particular tramming device. And I've seen other tramming devices like by SST. Go to Temu and see what the SST, probably a clone of the real SST, and that's really, really expensive. So this is just a different level of versatility. So that does it for the tramming device, and that will be probably my thumbnail. Later.